Hi YouTube, this is Eggman. Today I'm going to be watching some videos of this apparently a boxer. So apparently he passed away recently and he was injured during a boxing fight by his opponent. So in the beginning he had a promising future, but because of the incident, he suffered some um, situations that made him became less good looking, and yeah, eventually he passed away recently at early young age, at the age of 33 and shit, I guess. Yeah, so I want to share my thoughts on some of the content that was made about him recently. Yeah, I wanted to kind of tell you guys who I am real quick. So yeah, I guess that can get the ball rolling. I'm from Taiwan. I'm in my 20s. I went on a carnivore diet in April 2022, and I was able to improve my mental health and my skin and my body physique after I went on the diet. Previously, I was suffering with scoliosis and eye floaters. I was feeling down because of these health issues. But after I went on a carnivore diet, because I came across some information indicating that a carnivore diet can be beneficial for your eye health. After I went on this kind of diet, I started to feel better about myself, about things, and I stopped feeling like, oh, my eye floaters or my scoliosis were some big deals. Yeah, and I learned about black pill. Yeah, I just kind of want to tell you guys some relevant information. I am kind of a black pillar, and I believe that your diet matters a lot for your health. And basically, I believe that there are things you can do to become healthier, as well as myofascial release and other lifestyle habits. That's pretty much it. Yeah, if you are still here, W, and let me wait. Yeah, let me start watching the videos. I just noticed something weird, so I was checking that. But let's get started. Let me watch this video first, alright? If you have any questions about myself, you can let me know. Yeah. My videos are not scripted. I just want to yap. I just come across some shorts I want to watch and share opinions on, and I do that. Alright. But yeah, I'll try to see how I can make my content more understandable, I guess. But let's get started.
What happened? Look at Cologne. This man ain't have no
Cologne. So his name is
kids.
Cologne. Doesn't have kids. I don't know who he is. Oh, I'm feeling emotional. I don't know these motherfuckers whatsoever, but
This man would never know what.
I can relate to what happened, I guess. It's kind of tragic. Because that man apparently was a pretty genetically gifted guy. He seemed to have pretty nice, symmetrical, and decompressed athletic body. And he seemed to be handsome and healthy. But after the incident, he was like injured, right? And he became sort of unattractive and unhealthy, which is interesting, I guess. Like, because they are the same people, but because of some injury, they look like different people. This is some stuff that fascinates me. I kind of wonder if that guy got the right types of treatments, would he have been able to become fine and healthier? I think there is a possibility. Yeah, if he just ate more nutritious foods, like if he was uh, treated by Aajonus plants or some other people. I think there are definitely people that know more about how to deal with the kind of injury he suffered than doctors. Yeah, maybe I am going to be able to do a better job because I'm going to be doing the things that can make him healthier instead of just locking himself in a ward and giving him some trash food and not really making himself healthier, right? This is the nuance that people don't really see, in my opinion. People feel like, oh, this guy, this all happened because of the injury. I think the injury was obviously a very big factor, but how you deal with his body after the incident, after the injury, is also something we need to be thinking about, right? Did he receive the right type of treatments? I don't think so. This guy seems to be a mainstream person who definitely probably just got some mainstream treatments that doesn't really help.
What it feel like to be somebody's father? And that's some of the best thing in the world, to be somebody's father.
He used to be handsome and athletic.
But he'll never be nobody's father, man. This man will never have a natural childhood.
Yeah, he seemed to be a nice person, honestly. I don't know anything about him, honestly. I just have come across a couple clips about him. But I already feel this kind of relatability with him or something. I think he has some sort of attraction. Pretty interesting. He has some likability, I guess. Got to be a nice man. But he suffered injury and became kind of dumb.
But now,
yeah, it's interesting that he passed away at the age of 30-ish. Although it's not indicated right over here, but oh yeah, it's indicated here, right? As you can see. I think he could have been able to live longer if the right input were implemented. Yeah, it's really curious to know what would have happened if he got the right types of treatments, eating more meat, more raw food, more nutrient-dense whole foods, and get sunlight, get massage, myofascial release. What else? Sleep well. Yeah, because I can imagine if he was like a modern, if he just was treated in the modern setting, he's probably exposed to blue light and not eating some nutrient-void foods. Like, people are not really going to be helping him to do things that will be making him healthier, right? If anything, he's probably eating some foods that will make him even less healthy, like some junk food and vegetables, right? Okay, let me keep going. Yeah, like let me kind of make myself clearer. My stance is pretty similar to some carnivore people's stance in terms of diet and shit, because that's my background. Yeah, so I'm pretty knowledgeable around the carnivore scene, the raw meat scene. I personally also eat raw meat and shit. All right, let's keep going.
take care of him for the rest of his life. He probably would have been.
Yeah, this guy's an athletic dude. He has a nice build. He's like a gifted person. Not everyone has his type of structure and tension distribution. He was dealt good cards. And I think I came across his dad in some other clips, and his dad also looked pretty like healthier than average. So this guy got his type of health not by accident. It's from inheritance.
When they help his family, and now they looking sick for help and shit like that. And we seeing what happened.
I wonder who this black guy is, but apparently he's not happy with what happened to this Colin guy. Yeah, I guess this guy is like someone who respects the Colin guy and shit. Let me actually kind of read his story right over here. Although I want to point out that it's always important that we try to be open-minded. These are just stories that we can reference we can take a look at, but we shouldn't blindly believe them. All right, it's important to look at things with a rational mind. All right, so let me just kind of take a look at the story and see how I feel. The undefeated Puerto Rican boxing prospect, whose life was tragically changed by a single fight in 20. Wow, very interesting. So apparently he was like a very good fighter before the tragic happened. I just checked his Instagram. Apparently he has like 200-ish K followers, although his latest post was in 2015. So it's either he got his amount of followers after his latest post because of the virality on social media ever since, or it's because he was already very famous. So back around 2015, he was already having that many followers. I guess it's probably because of the virality of social media. So people started to follow him after 2015. That's what I would assume. Yeah. For some reason, this guy is kind of clipped farmed, or like people clip him and post about him because I guess people relate to him and shit. But anyways, let me keep reading. Sadly passed away at the age of 33. His father, Richard Cullen. They have the same name? What does that even mean? Oh, so his father is Richard and this guy is Pritchard. Announced the heartbreaking news today, bringing an end to one of the most devastating stories in modern boxing. Well, okay. Well, yeah, so I have already seen this boxer before. I knew that there is this guy that was like turned from being pretty handsome and healthy to pretty dumb and disabled because of an incident. I knew that before, but I came across the news of him dying today. Yeah, just wanted to tell you guys my background. So I want to react to because I guess it's pretty interesting to think about what would have happened to him if he was able to receive some more health-inducing treatments. Yeah, I feel like the results would be pretty different, honestly, because he definitely has good base. I think he definitely has good like potential to heal himself because he has a nice just genetic profile and shit, right? Or no, whatever that means. But I just want to say that I think that kind of healthier person, this guy, he was a healthier person to begin with. Although he became less healthy because of an incident, I think with the right amount of stimulus and input, his chances of healing himself is higher than those that are born less healthy. I think some people are born more resilient, and these people, they can still be pretty fine despite eating a bad diet and shit. And with the right kind of input, they don't need a lot of the right kind of input, but they can start to improve and be healthy. So I think if every health-inducing factors was like accounted for, I feel like this guy might be like actually just be much more healthy after that incident instead of just passing away today. Yeah, that's how I feel, honestly. I don't know what happened to him. I mean, like, I don't know what treatments he got, but I can assume it's probably not that ideal if it's like judged or looked at by someone like me that came from a meat-based whole food background, who was able to improve his health by changing his diet, going on a meat-based whole food diet, and that's into ancestral health. Yeah. Anyways, before the tragedy, Cullen, right, was considered one of boxing's brightest young and damn son. You know, I saw one of his clips. I think he mentioned that he thinks he can become the world champion. He has that kind of confidence. So he definitely had a promising future, I feel like. He entered his October 2015 against Williams with a perfect 16-0 professional record, including 13 knockouts. I don't know what that means, but apparently that's very impressive. At just 23 years old, he was building serious momentum and looked destined for a major career in the sport. Damn. Everything changed during that fight. Colin repeatedly complained about punches to the back of his head, which are illegal in boxing. Interesting. So, apparently what he suffered was not allowed. So why was that allowed? Why did that happen? I wonder. After the bout, he became seriously ill and eventually collapsed. Very interesting. Yeah. So apparently, right during the fight, right after the injury, he didn't become seriously ill. He was. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, did he became the way he did because of the injury itself, or because of the way he was treated? That's something we need to. That's a question we need to raise. I know people don't really question this, but as someone that doesn't know about the full picture, I think it's reasonable that I ask this kind of question. Okay, interesting. Doctors discovered that he had suffered a severe brain hemorrhage and blah blah blah, requiring emergency surgery. Okay, interesting. Might he have been failed by the surgery? We really need to be asking this question, you all. Maybe if he was like treated in a more holistic and not invasive way, results would turn out different. Who knows? I'm just asking a question. Can you really deny or disagree with what I say? Because, yeah, I feel like it's pretty risky to be doing surgery. There is definitely some, like, potential risks, right? Interesting. Colin would spend 221 days in a coma. Okay, that's why. That's why he had a coma for 200 days. Okay. So did he have a coma because of the injury or because of how the doctors treated him? That's really worth asking. I'm really questioning. It's pretty questionable for me, I guess. When he eventually regained consciousness, the neurological damage had permanently changed. Of course, he was in a coma for 221 days. Of course, he's going to degenerate. Who knows what he was eating during that time period? The boxer who once dreamed of becoming a world champion could no longer live independent. Damn, that's sad. Require constant care. I wonder who wrote this article right here. Was it written by AI? But it's pretty beautifully written. Although I don't know how truthful this passage is. For more than a decade, his family, particularly his father Richard, remained by his side. Wow, this is touching. And documented his long rehabilitation journey. Damn. 11 years after the fight that changed everything, Preacher Colin has passed away. Okay. Yeah, I feel like if he was able to live for this long, he actually had a good potential, right? It's not like he received some life-threatening problems. He actually still have like some ability to live, right? But I don't think he got the right kind of healing input. I don't really know his whole story, but that's just what I will assume, guys. His story is a painful reminder of how quickly a promising career can change inside the boxing ring, but also of the extraordinary dedication of the family that stayed beside him long after the cameras and crowds were gone. Damn. Yeah. Shout out to his family. They are very strong. Preacher Colin may never have gotten the chance to become the champion he dreamed. Oh, it's sad. Fuck. His story, his courage, and the love of his family. Oh, damn. I want to cry now, guys. Damn, son. Yeah, so I think the majority of the population will be blaming the boxer, his opponent, for what happened, right? But I'm not trying to say that he's not responsible for what happened, but I think it's worth asking if the doctors who treated this guy were also responsible for what happened to him. I feel like it's pretty worth thinking about, and I'm going to assume that they are definitely also what am I trying to say? We should think about their responsibility. If they also contributed to, if they also kind of made this mistake happen, you know. Okay, after one little short clip, I already yapped for 20 minutes. Let's watch this next video. All right, just watch a couple ones.
My name is Pritchard Cologne. I'm 20 years old.
Cologne. I definitely said his name wrong. I was saying Colin and shit, right? Cologne. I need to try to remember that.
A pro boxer out of Orocovis, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he's like a healthy, nice-looking, likable dude. Yeah, because he's healthy, right? Like he has a symmetrical body. Look at his build. That bicep right there, that's bulging. That's aesthetic, and he has a aesthetic body because he has like a athlete build. He's just like naturally like that. Some people are just like that, so that makes him likable, attractive, because that indicates that he's a good hunter and shit. But yeah, just want to yap.
I want to be world champion, and I'm sure I will be world champion.
Damn.
It's the nightmare.
It's your nightmare.
Everything changed that day. That night was so fun.
That's sad. Yeah, but I wonder why was this like just made happen, right? Because apparently that was not allowed for boxing games. Yeah, what happened between the previous scene and this scene? We know he was injured, but what about how he was treated after the injury? I think we really need to think about that. And the thing is, apparently he got surgery, right? So the whole thing became more questionable. But it's interesting that he can go from that attractive dude to this, like, apparent just not that attractive presence. Damn. Oh. I wonder how he personally feels about all of this, honestly. Damn. It's because his life became so different.
The doctor don't give us hope. They say that
Yeah, his dad is good looking. Apparently. This is his dad.
He's got a mark, on the CT scan shows like a black spot that is too large for him to recuperate.
And his like health is really looks. When you become less healthy, your looks will also suffer. I wonder how he feels. Damn.
He got in the ring to support his family.
And apparently, okay.
But now
he has a touching story in terms of why he wants to go boxing.
his family got to take care of him for the rest of his life. He probably would have been the breadwinner of his family.
Damn.
And now they looking seeking for help and shit like that.
Fuck.
My name is Pritchard Cologne. I'm 20 years old.
That's it? Fuck, why is the story so touching? I don't know this guy. I only have seen a couple clips of him. This guy has some sort of attraction, damn. By the way, that was some good music.
Baby, no, I can't move on. This man ain't have no kids.
I can't move on.
This man would never know what it feel like to be somebody's father.
I also don't have kids yet. Hopefully, I get to experience how that feels.
And that's some of the precious thing in the world to be somebody's father.
Damn. Who's that black guy? Seems to be
Man,
his
he'll never
friend.
be nobody's father, man.
I wonder, I can assume this guy definitely had girlfriends back when he was still healthy and attractive. I wonder what happened to the girls he was with, right? But if the girl wants to leave him after what happened, I think it's reasonable because the world is brutal. This is a black pill. The world is controlled by the black pill. Okay, that's it. Yeah, this guy probably was just like getting some mainstream treatments, and he passed away at the age of 30-ish. Yeah, like look at this. Look at this. Apparently they don't give a shit about diet. But he's laughing. He's smiling. That's cute. Damn. I wonder how he feels. He looks like a child now. He looks like he's not very smart now. Honestly. Damn. But I guess deep down in his consciousness, who he was previously still exists. But maybe he can't really like retrieve them. That's how I personally feel. Yeah, it's really interesting to think about what would have happened if he was like drinking raw milk, eating ramen and shit. It was like treated by someone like Aajonus from the plants, or even by myself. Honestly, bro, I think I can heal himself better if you give me the right like the amount of fund that's required, right? Like I just give him some grass-fed steak, some raw eggs, some milkshakes and shit. I think he would turn out different, honestly. But it's controversial for me to talk about this, right? Like, people are not really ready to know more about the whole picture, I guess. People would rather just feed this guy some junk food and pretend that, oh, there couldn't have been some better solutions.
Chal. Mi niño hermoso y bello.
Seems to be a
amaneció cumpliendo años y amaneció contento.
It's really interesting he became so much different looking because of the injury. I feel like it definitely has to do with how the hospital was treating him.
¿Verdad, mi amor? Gracias a Dios, un añito más. Hoy cumpliendo sus 28 añitos. Dándole gracias bien fuerte a papá.
But I feel like this can definitely be a pretty, like, insightful event for his family. So, yeah, obviously it's a tragic event, but I think this kind of event, if you are his family, can give you very different perspectives. That can be good for you, honestly. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about what happened.
¿Verdad, mi hijo bello? Okay.
It's good to see that he was smiling.
Happy birthday, okay?
But don't feed him cold slop, please.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. ¿No va a cantar happy birthday? Pues dale. Primero en español. Okay. Feliz, feliz en tu día.
He can't even speak
que
here.
Dios
Fuck.
te bendiga. Que
That's
reine
crazy.
la paz en tu día.
Okay. The video is getting a little too long. Let's actually watch one more clip, I suppose, and we'll see. Damn, I want to cry, guys. Is that his kid? Damn.
Who was your favorite boxer? Who was your favorite boxer? You tell me your name. Who was your favorite boxer?
And look at that surgery scar right over there. Very interesting. In the beginning, he was just feeling ill, right? He was still himself. And after the surgery, apparently, he was put in a coma. Yeah, that's very suspicious. What would have happened if he was treated naturally, holistically, eating nutritious food? It's really hard to say. You know what? If we want to go far enough, if he was eating really healthy when he was growing up, maybe his skull would be much more stronger, and he could have been able to taken take the injury he received more strongly. Who knows? You never know, right? Can you say that I'm like it's impossible?
Sir.
My name is Pritchard Colon
So
Melendez.
you are your favorite boxer?
That's the way.
Are you your favorite boxer? Yeah?
Damn. I don't know what he was doing, but apparently he still is able to. Oh, this is sad. What the fuck? Oh my god. Look at him. He looked so healthy and strong. Damn, son. I wonder how many fans he has. But I think he's a like influential person. Like I don't know shit about him, but I'm already like kind of touched. The power of social media. Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think I'll call it a day in terms of my content for this time. So, if you are still here, I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out, and yeah, you are welcome to let me know what you think about what happened. All right, my stances are a little more open-minded, so I don't really try to give like some very definite takes. I try to stay open-minded and fair and shit. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely questionable, and I want to point out that it's interesting to think about what would have happened to him if he was like, if he's like treated by some acupuncturist and some gua sha therapist and some nutritional actual expert and shit, actual health experts that actually know how to make humans healthier. If he was like dealt with by a couple of these really knowledgeable and tapped in experts, I wonder what would have happened. I feel like the results would be different, honestly. I think he wasn't all that horrible to begin with. The way the hospital treated him was definitely questionable. Yeah. But I guess this kind of phenomenon happens all the time, right? Like people are wrongly treated or dealt with. Like a lot of the times there are better ways to heal a person's health, but we resort to the wrong ways because we are not smart enough and shit. Anyways, if you want to become healthier the right way, you are welcome to subscribe to your boy's channel, because over here I'm going to be sharing with you my different takes about health, about what in my opinion actually moves the needle, and I'm also going to be sharing with you how I release my fascia and gua sha myself to become healthier. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Drop some likes and comments, alright? I hope you like my content. Let's keep going together. I need to work on my ability to do self-introduction and stuff. I hope you like this video. Bye bye.